Oh, we're back. We still don't have a hat. No, you do have a hat.
We did have a hat.
We have a cartoon hat.
We do, yes. Another rapid review, this time for Nambour's Stalwart. Their American Pale Ale. It's called the Chief, I believe.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I've seen that used in International Hotel in Spring Hill. They used to do a beer that was called the Chief, and that was an IPA as well. I'm wondering if that's...
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember at the Sunshine Coast Beer and Cider, the one we went to at the Brew, and I went to one of the... It was a big teepee they had set up. Oh, do you remember that?
No.
Okay, we went to the big teepee, and again, it was there. I didn't know whether it was actually
well before these guys were around.
Well, yeah, I guess it was.
Anyway, so American Pale Ale, I was just explaining back through there. American Pale Ale is a style that was developed, obviously, in America. Looking mid to late 1970s, when some of the guys over there were wanting to brew interesting tasting beers that weren't the standard international lagers of the golden variety, and they took English homebrew recipes and they modified them to use them with their ingredients. They amped them up a bit more hops, a bit more alcohol, and came up with this kind of 4.5% to 5%, sometimes a little bit more, 5.2, slightly sweeter beer than normal. And the rest is history, really. It became, I guess, in Australia, we followed that same thing. You know, Little Creatures Pale Ale being the primary example. We're a bit more sophisticated now. We've got Australian versions of American Pale Ale that have got, you know, real nuanced hop flavours that, you know, Southern Hemisphere hops coming in. But this is Stalwart's very new brewery, opened back in July, I think. And this is their take on an American Pale Ale. What do you guys think?
I really enjoyed it because I knocked it over really quickly. Now, there was a small issue that I had. One is that all these came from the same case. And we poured them. And there was actually a discrepancy in colour for two of the cans that we poured. Now, I don't know, and when I gave it to someone to have a look at, they said there's a bit diastolic, and I went, okay. So it seems very weird that there would be a diacetyl.
Yeah.
So, but it would be very weird that it should be in the same run. So that was the thing. However, that being said, though, there's one that was actually that colour.
Yeah, this is
and that
cloudy.
Stunningly good.
It's surprisingly yellow. I don't know if it's the light in here. I always find the beer colours funny in this room. It's quite pale for an IPA. They're often, I think,
the one that I had was a darker one, which actually had more of those butterscotch toffee sort of notes to it, and that was the thing. So hopefully it was just an aberration and turned up once in a blue moon. But
I mean, I always remember sitting down with you to have a Murray's Vintage Grand Cru or something, whatever it was called, in Brisbane, probably about 9 years ago, and the bartender poured us a beer, you know, one from this bottle, one from that bottle, and they were like, you would never have thought they were the same beer at all. They were completely different.
But yeah, that wasn't the case here. It's just it was the real colour and slight issue there. But that being said, though, like, I really enjoyed the beers. I think they're really excellent beers and well put together. That one there is probably the pick of them for me. Retail wise, we were only carrying that one. The others make it to see some light in here as well, so we get some shelf space. But that
hopefully
was the one.
They have a good crack in Nambour.
Well, yeah, they're in a good location. The old.
What was there?
Yeah, it was going to say the Royal Hotel. Yeah.
And so we've flown in a special guest reviewer all the way from Perth today. What do you think, Phil?
Look, I think that's a really terrific beer. I mean, for me, this is my perfect session beer. It drinks well. It's it's not strongly hopped, but I just think it's a really approachable APA. Pretty much classic in the style, in my view. I could drink that all day.
Glad Davey's not here because he bought a session beer, and you're saying that that's better than his session, which is fine because we promote conversation. Don't we? We like to do that. But yeah, that's really good to hear. It's definitely quaffable.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent little beer to drink, and it's a good little setup they've got down there as well. And I thoroughly recommend, if you are going to do a brewery sort of tour, my personal taste is go to Nambour and then head north to Torella and then up to Noosa and then back down the coast. That was the way we did it, and it worked out really, really well.
All right, next is probably the best named beer of the day.
The Run ESB.
Sweet.